Jump the table.
I'd probably be better. All right then. Thank you all for coming. I didn't expect there to be so many. It's actually reminded me of my days when I used to go to elocution lessons, as you can tell. And I just used to freeze on the stage, so God knows what will happen. I might start crying actually.
So will I.
That's what will probably happen. Anyway, thank you all, as I said, thank you all for coming down. Dougie started in HMRC, I found out this morning, on the 17th of June 1974, and I had a look, as advised by Jim, and the cost of a pint was 20 pence, and you could buy a mini gin for £600. I myself was only 14, and like Dougie, I was discovering boys at the time. That's the funniest sort of thing. That's the funniest sort of thing. Anyway. Oh, he's shaking. And got a laugh. And after 42 years, Dougie's obviously decided it's time for him to go. Some of you may or may not know that before Dougie started in HMRC, he'd actually went for a job, an interview in London, and for a job in the QE2. And he was going to be travelling about the world, playing with his organ, different things like that. But unfortunately, due to sort of circumstances in the family, he decided that he would have to take a temporary job, and that's how he ended up in the Inland Revenue. Have I got that right?
That's right, yes.
He started his career at LP24 in Redford Road.
No comment.
I know. And that was only meant, as I say, to be temporary. But because he had such a good time, and as he told me, some of the best days of his HMRC life, he never left. So we were lumbered with him. From there, Dougie moved to LP25 in Rob's Loan, and then to LP21, where after a few years he was promoted to TOHG. That's old speak for Bando. Dougie made a lot of good friends there. Some of them, but he's still got today the likes of, the only one I can think is Jim McLean, but I'm sure there's others. And I needn't say any more when you just look at Jim. In 2000,
What does that mean?
well, I don't know if he's a good name to have or not. In 2000, when the LP ceased to exist, Dougie moved to the telephone handling unit at Greyfield. And when that closed, he stayed at Greyfield as an AA team leader for a few years before moving to demand management and then finally CCO. And basically that's what broke him. So he decided to go then. I've not known Dougie as long as some other people have known him, but I'm told and I believe up until a few years ago he was a taxman Monday to Friday, and then Steve Duval, entertainer, at the weekends when he played keyboard in his band. I take it was your band, right?
Yes.
It was the other way around, Janice. It was Steve Duval Monday to Friday.
Yeah, well, nothing. I was trying to be good. I was trying to kid on that he had done some work. And I've also been told that he played at lots of people's parties and weddings over the years.
In the revenue, yeah.
Yeah. And that apparently, I had this, I didn't, but a party wasn't a party without Dougie and his organ.
Got to see it.
Anyway, as I say, I haven't known Dougie for as long as some of you, and Tony came back in today's day off, so I'm going to have to pay him overtime or something, or give him a simply thanks. But Tony's known Dougie for 47 years. They were at school together, would you believe? So Tony's going to say a few things, just a few words.
It's true what Janice says. I've known Dougie for 47 years. We were at first year at Pennycook High School. And Dougie was he was a bit different for the rest of us. While we were out playing football, getting up to mischief, Dougie was always in the music room, tooting his recorder. But he turned into a talented musician, earning millions of pounds. So who's the mug? You can imagine my surprise a few years later that Dougie and I were TOs, that's AOs in new money. We were on TOs together at LP25 at Rob's loan, and we had some laughs, I must admit. And one particular morning, I don't know if you've ever sat beside Dougie working, but he's forever whistling and singing at his desk. Right? And we had this one manager, I won't name him in case I offend anybody, but there was one morning Dougie was whistling and singing all day. And the manager turned around and says, "Dougie, do you know you're really getting on my nerves?" Quick as a flash, Dougie turned around and said, "Well, if you sing it, I'll join in the chorus." Everybody just, ended themselves laughing. The manager wasn't too chuffed, but like I say, I've known Dougie for a long, long time, and he's a great man with a big heart, and he'll be sorely missed. So I'll hand you back to Janet.
So I'm going to close up because you've got 4 pages there, and I didn't want people will want to get to the food. So I said earlier, after 42 years, he's decided it's time for him to go. And recently, himself and Robert have bought themselves a beautiful static caravan over in Fife and Petticoat Bay. No as nice as mine, I have to. You couldn't see green cheese, but you wanted a bit, taking all the shine for mine. But never mind. And then obviously they intend to spend all the time they can over there with their boys, Kai and Murphy.
They're down here if you haven't
Down
seen
there,
them.
and they've been very well behaved among all you rowdy lot. I was worried for them. I see Aileen's come down just in case she has to take them out for a walk. So everybody, it's the end of an era, and I'm sure you all want to join me in wishing Dougie a happy and long retirement.
Yeah.
Okay. And this time, I remember to take these ones home. I got lovely flowers yesterday from my team, and I got out the car last night and thought, where are they? I'd left them in the office. So this is from
thank you
all
very
your
much.
colleagues in the office.
Thank you very much indeed.
All right.
Thanks very
Right.
much. That's very kind.
Well, they're lovely.
Well, thanks, Janice. First of all, I'd like to thank Robert, my husband, for being here today with him. Him flying so much, I hardly ever see him. That's probably why we've been together for 32 years. So you could say it's a flying visit for him. And I'm pleased to have our 2 lovely boys. If you haven't seen them, we've got our 2 dogs lying very patiently down here. And as I say, Aileen might be taking them out in a minute. So thanks a lot for coming today. And now, without a shadow of a doubt, I will burst into tears. See? Over the years, I've had a few different roles in the department, from caseworker to team leaders, both in the call centre and PT Ops, and seconded to demand management. And as Janice said, I've been helping 24, 25, 21. I have very fond memories of early days going back. And when at LP24, there was an office that they used to shut the front door, they used to lock it. And I've very fond memories actually, because if you were late back from lunch or you were late back from earlier, you couldn't get in. So you had to report to the DI. So we used to get all our friends to sit at window seats. So that if you were coming back, you just wave and then. It's true, I used to jump back. That's not what I wrote here, but it's the same thing. We used to get, for all those new ones and that, we used to get bank time. Remember bank time? Yeah. But who wanted bank time? We called it pub time. So we'd run down to the pub in Collington, have a couple of pints and run back, and then of course the doors would be shut. So it was great because at Christmas time the inspectors all dressed up and served a lunch in the canteen. We had some great social clubs, regular nights out wherever we wanted to go. All the good times. Sadly, there's nothing like that anymore. But I can assure you it was great at the time. I want to go back a few years ago when I was an RA team leader here in Greyfield. And as I arrived one morning, I was quickly told to get up to the section. One of my staff was, say, playing at building. So we have the excellent support of the BSB team here. So they come to our aid if we need any help. And what happened this particular day was this particular member of staff was told, your desk will be raised, but you'll have to wait a couple of days. Nah. Not long enough, not quick enough for him. So I got up just in time to see him putting his 4th brick. Am I right, Steve? Yeah, he wasn't amused. I said, take them off. And he went, oh, he wasn't happy at all. And he was even angrier because he wanted the department to pay for the bricks he bought. Well, as Janice said, I am also known as Steve Duval. An active keyboard player for many years. I've had the pleasure of playing around the world in many countries, and also the month in Canada when I got a month special leave and played in front of thousands of people. That was an experience then. So I was also, I don't know if some of you remember, the resident keeper of the Happy Cappy. That was a bingo club. I was there for 15 years. Then I got made redundant at 42. It was great. They even paid me, I think my weekly hours was 1 hour or something. And I got redundancy money and holiday pay. It was great. So anyway, I've decided to throw in the towel. I played with the band that I had for 15 years. But we were a very successful band, and I had to, I wanted to give up, so I actually gave them a year's notice. That's how long I had to give them to get out of that job. So. Oh, thanks, Carol. But talking about music, I was going back trying to get rid of, as I say, Robert and I will be moving over to the caravan quite a lot, so I want to get rid of a lot of stuff in the flat. And I was going through a lot of old paperwork, and I came across this here, and it was dated 16th of August 1984. Thank you for your replies to my colleagues' inquiries. I find that your capital allowances on both your organ and motor car amount to XYZ. But the point of all of this is that these were the letters that we used to say that we used to go along to the typists. They used to type them all out, and then we'd get them back in our folder. There's a joke coming up here. If I can get back on track. Oh, that's right. So we didn't have C's, so we used to have to use a dictaphone. And that always reminds me, I could never understand why you use a dictaphone, you can use your hand. But sorry. Anyway, the last part of that particular letter was that you didn't get an assessment, you were just told to pay it. It actually says here, I suggest you buy tax reserve certificates. I've never heard of them for your tax bills, so you suggest to buy them. He said, and he has the cheek to say, sold, I believe, in the post office. He's supposed to tell me where I get them. And the merit of these certificates is they carry interest, and the interest is not taxable. Anyway, that's that. As part of one of our social events as well, we went to Abbeymoor skiing. This was many years ago. And I actually saved Partly's life. Didn't I, Pat? Yeah? She was freezing. She was in the middle of this blizzard. You couldn't see that in front of you. And all of a sudden, a knight in shining armour and skis suddenly arrived. And guess who that was? Me.
And my crimpling trousers, my cotton shirt on.
So I managed to get her back down to my hotel room. She knew it was safe, though. She was safe. So we got back in and got nice and warm. And of course, I also had to help Susan McRae. Do you remember Susan McRae? Susan McRae, she needed dry trousers. So the funny thing about this was, she was about 9 feet tall and I was 4'6". But she put on a pair of my trousers, so they were like shorts on her. But the funny thing was, she insisted on going out to the shops with them on. And we were standing at the windows peeing ourselves laughing. Anyway, I don't want to, we had great times that holiday and many other social events. We really did. It was great fun. I don't want to go on and on as I could bore you all day, but the retirement malarkey actually has its benefits. Though apart from a free bus pass, you get offers. For example, Robert and I passed a cafe the other day there and had two full breakfast specials for £2.50. If one is over 60, I thought, well, I'm nearly 60, so that'll do, let's go in. So she never asked. We sat down and said, we'll have some of that. So the girl started, take the order, and asked Robert how he wanted his eggs. So he said, poached please. So I said, no, I don't want any eggs, thanks, no thanks. She went, well, I'm sorry, sir, but you can't have this £2.50. You have to order from the £5 menu. And I said, so I've got to pay more if I don't want eggs. She went, that's it, sir. I said, okay then. So I thought about it. I said, it's okay, I'll have the eggs. She went, great, that's fine. So we're back to the £2.50. She said, and how would you like them? I said, raw and in their shells. So being partially retired already, I'm just about finished. Being partially retired already and being off 2 days per week, certainly has its benefits. And Robert was getting ready to go away to some France or somewhere last week, and he said to me, so what are you going to do today then? I said, nothing. And he said, yeah, but you did that yesterday. And I went, yeah, but I'm not finished.
That's what I put up with.
A sign of getting older as well was when I wobbled into an ice cream parlour and slowly climbed up the counter stool, holding on to everything I could to get up there. And I sat down, wheezed and coughed for a minute. And the server said, crush nuts? I went, no, just so neat. Anyway, just about finished. There was a bit confusion the other day at the off licence. Well, you know, I'm partial to a wee drink now and again. So when I was ready to pay, the checkout assistant said to me, strip down, face me, making a mental note to complain to my member of Parliament about excessive security for older people or mock. I just did as she instructed. Well, she screamed, she shouted, tantrums, God all the... And I found out she was referring to my debit card. Not me, it's not a pretty sight right now. Anyway, I'm not crying yet, I'm actually doing quite well. Enough is enough, and I'm going to finish now, but I just have to say thanks a million for the wonderful friends that I've met over the years. I really have some really wonderful friends. I'm very blessed to have that. Very blessed to have Robert and the boys. As I say, we're going to be spending a lot of time over the caravan. I look forward to January to seeing some. So we're going over to the Petticoat Bay, which we adore, and we'll spend a lot of time there. But I'd like to thank the girls very, very much for helping for the buffet. Absolutely superb. The girls' mum, Lisa's mum's made cakes. I made some cakes as well, actually. Maybe saw on Facebook. I was very proud of them. So very, very, very grateful. Thanks for all your good wishes, and thanks for this. To let you understand, I bought, I don't want any comments from you guys, I bought a very high-powered pair of binoculars for the caravan so we can see
I was leaving that to you. I was going to say
You didn't need the binoculars for me though.
that's just fine.
and they were
mate.
bought so I could look over to Edinburgh. Although I may have had the odd look, you know. So that's what I got with the retirement present. Thank you all very, very, very much for coming. There's a beautiful buffet there. Please stay and have some chat to us. Say hello to the boys, they'll be fine. And just thank you all very, very, very much indeed. Thank you.
Can I just say something as well? Can I just say something as well?
Quiet, please.
Dougie did say that he's not really going to miss his job very much, but he's going to miss an awful lot of people here over the past and present, and thank you very much for being so nice to him and accepting him the way he is. It was difficult.
Oh my God.
Well,
Grubs up.
Yeah, please. Please help yourself, please, honestly.
please don't lose it.